In this episode, once again, we speak to the amazing Lisa Crosta. Lisa is a certified financial planner, professional, CFP, as well as a certified public accountant, CPA. Lisa is the director of wealth management, BPP Wealth Solutions, where she helps her clients better understand their financial picture so they can achieve their dreams. Having undergone divorce and raised 3 kids on her own, Lisa aims to help other women to find themselves in tough situations. Lisa's energy, unbridled determination, and communication gives her clients the confidence they need to succeed and empowers them to make great financial decisions. She enjoys guiding her clients through the confusion of complex financial jargon and bringing clarity to the financial realms of her clients' lives. And today we're speaking to Lisa to find out why everyone needs a financial plan right now. Let's find out. And remember, if you want to upgrade your money mindset, then click on the link at www.millionairefoundations.com and watch my free training. Welcome. This is Gull, your money mindset expert. And once again, we have the amazing, we have the wonderful, we have the charming Lisa Crosta. Welcome, Lisa.
Hello, nice to be here.
Thank you so much for coming back, Lisa. We had such an entertaining conversation about family life and everything under the sun on Friday, but we wanted to have you back today, specifically talking about money. But I mean, thank you so much for coming back, Lisa. But before we get started, everyone's heard your intro, but please, in your own words, tell everybody what it is that you do.
So I'm a financial planner. We work with people putting plans together for their life so they can achieve whatever it is they want to achieve, which is completely individual. And when we do planning with clients, we look at the whole financial picture, their cash flows, their investments, their insurance, and their estate planning. So we're the, I don't want to call us the financial quarterback, but that's what we are.
Awesome. So today, Lisa, we're talking about why does everyone need a financial plan right now? So tell us, why does everyone need a financial plan right now? What's the urgency?
I'd say the biggest reason is because life has gotten too complex to do on the back of an envelope. Right. It's just, there's so many, it's very complex, the financial world, the jargon, the legalities of how investments are titled, of how debt works and how your different assets might be owned. You make for a complex scenario. And if you want to get to whatever it is you want to do, if it's retirement, put kids through college, buy a second home, quit your job, it's kind of hard to figure out just by writing it on the back of an envelope and guessing. So when we do a plan, we take the time to really dig in and do a little bit of the hard work in the beginning, which I know for a lot of people isn't fun, looking at all your income, all your expenses, all your assets, and all your liabilities. And we put it all together and we build a cash flow. And we look at that and we say, okay, at the end of each month, which is how most people think, or the end of each year, where are you? Are you adding to the ability to get to your goals? Are you taking away? Or are you only saving for one and not saving for the other one, and you don't know how to do it differently? Can you, if you sell a home, can you buy a new one? If you put this kid through this college, how's that going to affect the other child? So there's so many moving parts and everyone's different, but having a plan helps you be able to answer these questions.
And how do one even start off, looking for a financial planner? Or would you recommend going to a financial planner, or can someone do this by themselves?
I don't know too many people who can do it by themselves. You'd have to have a pretty good Excel spreadsheet. I even have engineering clients. I have clients that are analysts that do numbers work for their job, but they don't do it for themselves. It's the story of the cobwebs and shoes, right?
Yeah, 100%,
so they know math. It's not like they don't understand it, and they understand their investments, but they don't know how to quite put it all together.
Right.
And it's not like there's a yes and no answer for everything. There's nuances. Well, you think if I maybe save less here and I put it towards this, that maybe we should do that. You're not, again, it's not 100% certain because we don't know all future tax rates and future laws, but we can make really practical decisions, and you can understand the information and then make a good decision with the facts as opposed to guessing. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's not always a yes or right or wrong, but you have to have the facts to make an informed decision. And that's what planning allows you to do.
So I agree with that. I think you need to seek a professional. I think as you wouldn't heal yourself, you'll go to a doctor. You won't write your own legal documents. You go to a lawyer. If you are looking to have financial health, then you need to go to a financial planner. So yeah, hands down, that's required. So how does one begin this process? When you go and see a financial planner, how do you know if they're good for you? I mean, we're having this conversation offline because I'm still seeking. I'm very good at numbers and I'm very good with money and so forth. And I'm a money mindset coach. I think because I understand so much and so well, I still need a financial planner 100%. I'm struggling to find one who can sort of keep up with my pace and knows what I want. And so how does one go about looking for it, and how do you recognize good from the bad ones?
I think often looking at what they lead with. If they lead with investments and their whole website and all their talk is about investments, I'm not saying that's bad, but that may be really just an investment advisor. There's a lot of investment advisors that don't do the planning. They just do the investments. You call them, you say, I have $1 million, and they're going to ask you 7 questions that are on some checklist, and then they're going to invest your money. We won't do that. We're going to spend a lot more time because I don't know what to do with your money if I don't understand what you're trying to do with it eventually. How are you going to use that money? But some people, we lose clients because we're not the right person for them. They don't want to have that conversation. They just want to get the money invested, or they just want to know find the fastest return. That's not us. So that's where it has to be a fit. I think looking at what they highlight on their website will give you an idea of where they may spend a lot of time.
Right.
And then also, what questions do they ask you? If the first phone call, they're the only one talking, I would run the other way. I mean, because I need to know before I can really tell my clients too much about us. I need to know about them. So I find when I talk to somebody, this happened recently. The other day, I was on the phone with my father and one of his advisors, and he didn't ask a single question and just kept telling us stuff. And I was like, he has no idea that this is not what we want to do. And he's telling us the answer before he even knows our situation. So listening to that, you have to do some of those first calls and see how much you're being heard and how much you're being talked to.
Yeah, I think I hear you, and I think that's important because, but how does one even, what kind of things should we be, someone be asking? So, what kind of things should a financial planner be asking you? Then let's go on that question. So,
right. And I'll also back up a little bit. So we're certified financial planner professionals. That's our title. We have a certificate. The term financial planner in the States, anybody can use it. So you do want to look under the hood and see what credentials your person has, because are they an insurance agent that calls himself a planner? Again, you just look at the credentials. That will give you a little bit insight to who you're speaking to.
Okay. So what sort of questions should they be asking us? And what should I be looking at or thinking about when I am thinking about financial planning?
Right. Well, I mean, the first question I ask a client is, why'd you reach out to me? Like, what was the impetus, for this call? So a lot of times people have been thinking about hiring a planner for a long time.
It's usually years, by the way. I'm talking about serious.
Right. So why did you call? And a lot of times it's, maybe it's, I got an inheritance. I don't know what to do with it. The kids are getting closer. I feel like I'm behind. The kids are getting closer to college. Or, a lot of people 10 years or so, which is a great time before retirement, are thinking, am I on the right track? Can I retire when I thought I could retire? Can I afford to retire? And can I afford to live 30 years in retirement? Those are questions that, they're going, most people come to us with. And I guess what I'd say, I'd listen for the answers. If the answer is somebody says to me, do I have enough to retire? I don't know the answer yet. Well, we're going to do a plan, and we're going to look at everything, and we're going to put it all together, and we're going to see what it looks like. And we're going to use really conservative, numbers to show, on the rate that you're saving, can you get to the retirement at the age you want to? And if not, our software allows us to ask all these questions. So I have a client that says they want to retire at 65. I'm going to show you what it looks like at 65, 67, 69. I'll show you what it looks like if you retire full-time at 65, but then work part-time for 5 years. Or I can show you, what if you downsize 3 years ahead of the schedule when you thought you could, so maybe you can retire sooner, and it goes on and on. And if you have somebody who's willing to talk about all things that can make it work, as opposed to just, we got these 6 strategies, we're going to invest you and we're going to sell you this or that, that to me is, obvious which one I would go with.
I think I'm so used to speaking to people like yourselves who do that kind of thing in the US, and I think UK is so far behind because we don't have that kind of structure. Not that I've seen, and I've seen quite a bit. we have, like you said, we have those people who inheritance planning, tax planning, we have those things.
Yeah.
But the kind of thing that you're mentioning, which is probably what I'm looking for, because that's maybe the reason why I haven't found financial planning yet, because I haven't found somebody like this in the UK. And please correct me if I'm wrong, by someone who's listening to this and says, "Oh, you're wrong, I'm like this." Please reach out to me. Open invitation. Because I don't see that. I see people who are willing to give me investment advice, and people who are willing to say, "I can do this and do that and do and X, Y, Z, and tax planning this, and we can ring fence this, and we can do that, and the ISAs and whatever else, and pensions and whatnot." But not what you're describing, because I think this is very important. We take a holistic view of our health, not in isolation. I think when you focus on investments, it's like focusing on your heart. When you're focusing on inheritance, you're talking about your kidneys or your stomach. And when you're focusing on individual, like, in life insurance, maybe that's more for your, I don't know, brain, whatever. You have to focus on the holistic person, not individual components, to make an idea of, where someone's health is. Just because my heart is healthy doesn't mean my brain is, or vice versa, my kidneys or my stomach. We have to make
Best
sure.
analogy I've ever heard, Gull. I'm going to write that down and put that on the website.
You're welcome to it. It just came up while I was talking.
That's perfect. And we do have all those specialists. Like, you have the heart specialist, we have the tax specialist, we have the estate planner specialist.
Yeah.
That's a perfect analogy. And I hesitate to use financial quarterback only because it's sort of a male, sounds like male. Well, they're all men, so it's a male dominated, and we're a female firm. But as a certified financial planner professional, the things we study are tax, I'm trying to remember, mixing up all my tests, but tax, investments, insurance, estate planning. So we can't prepare the documents. We don't have the specialty to prepare estate planning documents, but we know those are all the specialties we learn. So we really are an umbrella over all of them. And we always say we play well in the sandbox with other professionals. Like, we love to get on the phone with our clients' accountants. And I'm an accountant as well. So I that part's pretty easy for me. But get on the phone with the accountants, the estate planning attorneys, and make plans together. Because we see everything, and we always say to our clients too, if you hire us and then you go to a estate planning attorney, we probably saved you 2 hours of very high lawyer fees, because we're going to send them your net worth. We're going to send them all your stuff perfectly titled, and they know exactly what it is. And they don't have to spend, a couple hours gathering everything and understanding what you own, because we know that very clearly.
I think that's this is exactly what's missing here. The getting the overview of where you are. So, okay, so this is your income. This is your income you want to get to. This is the minimum you need to retire for the kind of lifestyle you want. This is what's possible. This is having that holistic idea is so crucial for you to understand where you are, because you don't know if you're on track or not. I mean, I have goals, and my goals are probably, I'm just overly ambitious anyway, so my goals are out of the world. But that's my aspirational goals and where I want to be. But obviously my lifestyle goals, my bare minimum goals, where I want to be when I'm 55, 60, 65, 70, whatever age I'll pop off the planet. It's that's important for me to have those targets intact as well. And I know I don't. I have some idea, but I have a great idea, and I'm not on track for that. So yes, my aspiration goals for sure. Yes, I'm working hard, but God forbid, or the only thing I'm looking at the moment is making sure that my insurances are up to date, because my insurances are far lagging behind my net worth now. So I'm trying to bring them up to level so that we match up. But that's the only thing that's come to mind. That, okay, let me fix that first, because again, one component, fix that part, because it's essential. And then look for somebody else who can help me gather the rest of the information to put everything else in motion. It's interesting how doesn't matter where you are, you could be starting off your career, or you could be in the middle and everything's up in the air. You need to have someone who can guide you. And you're, like I said, this is more complicated. I 100% agree. It's become more complicated because the laws have come in. And the more money you make, the more complicated it becomes anyway. Because, and I think, if you're not taking advantage of the tax laws, you're going to fall through the pitfalls, and you're going to pay extortionate amount of of inheritance tax and other taxes. Not forget the inheritance tax, even just normal tax for yourself, and trying to extract the money that you've saved, it will be subjected to really high tax.
Yeah, and so we have in the States, we have ways to save now for retirement, pre and post tax. So basically a Roth, or we'll just say a Roth or an IRA or a 401k. but Roth dollars are saved after tax, but they come out in retirement tax free. If you meet the rules, have them for at least 5 years and are a certain age. 401ks, traditional 401ks, pre-tax 401ks, you save now, but you pay tax when you take it out in retirement. So again, when I talk about it used to be so much easier, these didn't all exist before. There was just the one, right? So now there's Roth Roth IRAs and regular IRAs and non-deductible IRAs. So all these things, figuring out how to save in the right way, and you can convert some of these too. There's a big conversion options out there, and you got to do the timing right, because if you do it too late and you have too much income in retirement in the States, then it affects how much you pay for Medicare. It's like, it's a web.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. It would be. I mean, UK, we have what's called ISA. So ISA is where you pay tax first, but whatever you save in an ISA is tax free.
When you take it out.
When you take it out.
Okay.
On the other hand, when you have, but ISA is not linked to your retirement, but it's supposed to be. The idea is tax free, 20,000 a year. That by the time, if you build it up slowly, by the time you retire, it should be a big pot of a couple of million, and it's tax free, right? And then we have up to 60,000 we can put into our pension. That's before tax. So, you don't pay tax on that, but you take tax on that when you take money out.
Yeah. Same thing. We're going to pay it somewhere.
Yeah. It's like, they'll get you one way or the other.
One way or another. Exactly. Yeah. And there's just a lot. And then for us with healthcare, healthcare is a huge cost here. It's very different than the UK, but there's premiums, and how much you pay in retirement depends on how much income you have. So can you manage your income to keep those premiums a little bit less, but still have the lifestyle you want? It's tricky.
So all of these things you need to think about it. And I've literally just updated my will. So I'm in the process of doing that too. Yeah. So I've been thinking about all my mortality quite a bit recently. What happens if I pop off the planet and so forth. And I think even when you start thinking about that, you realize how much financially, and I'm a money, and the reason I keep saying this is I'm really, really, really good at money. I'm a money mindset person.
Right.
With large numbers, it's not a problem for me, and helping other people out is great. But when it comes to financial planning, and this is what I'm being very open and vulnerable with you. Yeah, my financial plan is abysmal. It's awful. It's terrible. And that's someone who's good with money. Imagine someone who's not good with money, who has difficulty making money. I don't have difficulty making money. Making money is easy for me. Managing it and keeping it and growing it is another story altogether. And so, the reason I'm saying this is because those people listening say, well, okay, I don't have money to begin with. What can I plan with? But what would you say to someone like this? Because, well, I don't make much anyway. I barely make ends meet. So how can what's even worth me doing a financial planning?
We do have some clients that don't have as much money, but you have to be, we charge for financial planning. So you have to be willing to pay for it. And that is harder. If you're going month to month and week to week, it's going to be hard to come up with that money. And there's probably, some online tools you can use early on. But I do have a couple clients, they're children of clients that pay for us to do planning, and they're in their 20s, but they're making good money and they're not sure they're saving it correctly. They don't want to waste that opportunity. So we do have those type of clients. The thing is, you just want to make sure at the very least that what you are saving is being saved appropriately. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a retirement account in cash. Like, oh my God, you're 25 or you're 30, so many years if it's in cash. And I've seen clients had it for years because I came in, way later. Make sure it's invested appropriately. You're at least getting something in there. And if there's a company match, at least get enough to get that company match. So that's free money. So whatever you can do, take advantage of that. If you don't have enough money, if you're not paying someone to do your plan, those are the things I see. Get the dollars invested appropriately. Get the money in any account where you're getting any kind of match, and start. Don't see a mountain and be like, okay, well, I can't get there. You have to start. And if you can get $10 in a paycheck each week, start with $10 and then become 20. You have to begin, because people are living a long time in Social Security. To only have Social Security in our country in retirement, leaves you hand-tied. You don't have any a lot of flexibility. And then there's a lot of people that own homes that may not have a lot of excess money, but maybe they should have refinanced that window has closed right now in this country. But 10 years ago, we had so many clients refinancing and cutting their interest rates down, dramatically. And we also have people who were paying off, trying to pay off some debt and not doing it smartly. like paying off the mortgage, which is 2% instead of the credit card, that's 15%. Like
exactly. Yeah.
That if you don't have a lot of money and you have to manage how to pay off your debt, that's another thing that we help with, to do it smartly.
So I think when you go to a financial planner, it's not just about, oh, I want to have 4 million in my retirement.
Yeah.
It's actually working out where you are right now, being able to pay for that advice, because obviously that anything that's worth having is worth paying for, I believe, right? So that not necessarily the more you pay, the better advice you get, but you do need to seek out good advice, and that you can be willing to pay for it. And I think that the returns and the dividends on that is manyfold over the coming weeks, months, and years.
Yeah. I mean, they have studies that show it. The people who work with advisors end up with more money.
Yeah. So I think I think everyone should be thinking about, okay, where am I financially? And if I am in my 40s and 50s, do I have the right vehicles in place to get to where I want to get to when I'm 55, 60, 65, 70, whatever the retirement age you have in mind? Yeah. I mean, there are someone like me. I don't think I'll be like Bob Proctor. Honestly, my mentor, Bob Proctor, I loved him so much. He was teaching till the day he died, and I'll probably be one of those people. I mean, I may not do the other businesses that I have, the gazillion things that I'm doing, but when it comes to being a coach or a mentor, I'll be doing that until the day my last dying breath, probably be teaching someone something. But so I'm not going to retire in the normal conventional sense of the word, but in terms of not having to worry about money and working for money, that there has to be an age that I no longer want to work for money. It's just because I want to do it, because I feel like doing it. And if at any moment in time I'm not able to, for health reasons or whatever comes up, you don't know what life can throw at you. Yeah, I have the safety that money's there, and if I can't work, I don't need to work. I think that sense of security, that sense of serenity has to be in there somewhere. Yes, I talk a lot about relying on divine source energy and having faith and being open to abundance. But that is absolutely true. But I also talk about the practicalities of it. You have to be practical. You have to implement things in place. You cannot just hope, oh, I'm going to get a bag of gold in my lap. That doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't do that. Sometimes, very infrequently it does. I mean, I recently heard someone in US who won the $2 billion lottery, the massive jackpot for, I don't know what it was, for one of your games. I can't remember. It was
I forget what it's called.
But they won the Powerball. Yeah, the Powerball, and the person won like $2 billion. Yeah. Sorry. So every now and again it happens. Every now and again, right? Every
now and again. And every now and again, I had a friend once whose sister inherited all this money from the neighbor. So there are random things, but those are lucky and fun. We don't plan for those.
Exactly. So we can't rely on those. We have to put practical steps in motion for us to be safe financially in the coming weeks, months, and years. And especially as we get older, when our ability to work the kind of level that we are at the moment diminishes. At the moment, I'm doing a couple of days, I'm doing a 6-hour commute, like 3 hours away, 3 hours back, because I don't want to stay over. I want to be home for my kids. But that does mean 6 hours on the road like twice a week. And it's massive. It could be even 7 hours, because coming into London traffic is just atrocious. So that's 6 to 7 hours, on each day, and that's at least twice a week. Wow. But I can't do that long term. That's maximum will be in the 3 to 5 years. Thereafter it has to stop, probably a lot sooner. But again, when I'm 70, I shouldn't have to worry that I have to do this because I have to get money in the bank. I should have money in the bank, and I can come if I want to, if I feel like it.
Right. And it's interesting once we get a plan together, the questions that people ask. And, I had I've had this a couple of times where people were afraid to do a plan because they didn't want somebody to tell them, don't go buy that coffee or don't go out for drinks with friends. I'm like, first place, that's not what it's about. If at the end of the month you're negative, I'd much rather figure out a way to bring in more income rather than, have you not be
100%, 100%. Yeah.
And we're not going to, it's not about nickel and diming. It's not about the millionaire next door. It's not that strategy, where you just you spend nothing so you can have a bucket in the bank. I guess unless that's your goal, but most people want to figure out a way to live their life. Yeah. So, we help clients see how much more. I just did this with a client. How much more does she need to make to be in the place where she wants to be? And it was about $30,000 more. And she's like, okay, now I know what I need. I know how to ask for it. I know why I need it. And it gives you a lot of power. to go ask for these things, or there's something else you can add to your life that maybe brings in this little extra that'll make a difference. But having clarity to your numbers and your situation helps
100%,
tremendously.
100%. So let's wrap this up. What would be your, parting advice to someone listening to this conversation, saying, okay, this sounds great, but I don't even know where to start?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you hired a financial planner, I guess, we have our onboarding document that we start with. And what it is we start gathering everything, and it's, where does all your income come from? Where are all your, how much do you spend monthly? What are your liabilities? What are your assets? Let's look at how they're all titled, or then how are they invested? So, we have a document that we use to gather all this information and, checklists to go through. And it takes a while to get a plan built, for sure. But at least if you're doing it on, if you're doing it on your own, it's hard to do. But one place to start is to see where you are at the end of the month. You don't look at the year, because it's just too many things change. At the end of the month, are you positive or negative? And if you're negative, why? And where's it coming from? If you're negative, are you adding to debt? I had a client once that every month was increasing their line of credit. It's going to run out. Like, it's not a sustainable plan.
Yeah.
There's a maximum. And if it's positive, what are you doing with it? How much is going into your savings? And if it's positive and it's just sitting in the bank, maybe you need to put that money somewhere to work, and if you're not comfortable with all long-term investments, maybe you're going to split some of it, to different buckets. We always want people to have emergency money first. And emergency money is about 3 months of fixed expenses set aside, an account you can get to in case there's a job loss, there's, illness or something. That's usually the first thing. And once that's taken care of, then you can think about the longer term investments. And of course, like you said, you got to think about insurance, especially if you have kids, if you're a single parent. If you're not here, what happens? It's a crappy situation to think of, but we do all that when we go through a plan with somebody. And then the last piece is, if you were to, not just get sick, if you were to die, is everything going to go where you want it to, and to whom it's supposed to go to?
Fantastic. Okay, so it's a holistic thing from beginning to
end. And it's actually the name of our company. So it's BPP, Build, Protect, Preserve. So build is where we do all the cash flow, all the income, the cash flows, and the investments. And then we're looking at P for preserve, I did it backwards, P for protect, insurance, and P for preserve, all the estate planning documents that are needed. And we do this circle. We'll go around and around every year. We try to touch on everything. You can't do everything on the first call or even in the first month, but that's our process.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell us, Lisa, where can we find you on the internet? How can we connect with you?
Yeah. So BPP Wealth is our website. It's the company's website. And social media, LinkedIn primarily. So you would look up my name, Lisa Crosta, on LinkedIn, and you'd find me. You could also find the connection to the company there too.
Wonderful. So if you are listening to us on the podcast, the links that Lisa has just mentioned will be in the show notes. And if you're watching on YouTube, then down below in the description section, we'll have the links Lisa just mentioned. Do check her out if you are in the US, because she only helps people within the US, but I know lots of you are in the US. Check her out and see how she can help you plan your financial future. And for those outside the US as well, do look around to see what kind of support you have available in your countries. I know that I'm going to go and do some more due diligence in the UK and find a financial planner, not somebody who just focuses on insurance or tax planning, but someone who can give me a holistic idea of where I am right now and where I want to go, and help me find a pathway to there. I think that's what a financial plan does. It gives you a pathway, it helps you find a pathway to go from where you are right now. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in debt or not, God knows where. Wherever you are right now to where you want to be. And that's the help that you actually need, because trying to find the way yourself is too confusing at times, especially with all the jargon and all the new laws that keep coming in. And that's just not for UK and US, it could be across the globe. So this is the fact. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much, Lisa. It's been a fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Gull. It was wonderful.
And thank you for listening to me and Lisa today talk about all things financial planning. I will be back with another amazing guest, finding out how you and I can build a better business. Until the next time we meet, this is Gull signing off. Take care and bye for now.